What it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another Bulls. I have a video here today on the channel. We're gonna be ranking the best audio interfaces over $1,000. So if you guys do have any experiences with any of these audio interfaces, let me know down below. What's the best audio interface that you guys ever used, ever? Okay, so let's get to the video right now. Okay, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Suggest more ranking videos down below. All right, so first tier is going to be mix and master tier. These is the best of the best, audio interfaces, which there's not that many, but there's going to be a lot of them that are probably going to end up in the higher tiers. We have rough mix, where pretty much this audio interface is good. What's the criteria for the audio interfaces? It's going to be converters. Does it come with a package of plugins, mic preamps, user ability, easy installation? Those are some of the criteria. Vocal template is the audio interface where you're going to need a fire template to save it, but here we're gonna find ourselves in a situation where we're gonna talk about that if any of these are just that bad and overrated. But then you have debatable, which is the audio interfaces that you probably should not get, and then the delete, the ones you shouldn't get at all. If you got it, refund it. Okay. Very first, audio interface we're gonna have to put at the top is the Fireface RME. Oh, the RME is just so fire, especially when it comes to the converters. The fact that you can also expand this preamp is really good. It always puts it at the top, and a lot of people like RME because it's a good company. Even like the RME console and everything, the stuff you can do with like the loop back and all that stuff like that. It's a great alternative to if you want like a console type of workflow that's not UAD. Like if you want UAD console without UAD console, RME is really good for that. It's A1. All right. After that we have, what is that? Is that the Avid Carbon? Oh yeah, we throwing Avid Carbon in debatable. We don't like Carbon. We don't like Avid like that. I put in a vocal template out of respect because it costs $4,000. But yeah, if you're not using Pro Tools, that's not gonna be a good interface for you, just due to the fact that you can't take advantage of the internal AAX DSP and also the low latency. If you use analog hardware, it's instant with the Avid Carbon. Avid Carbon is good for people who have Pro Tools, and just because of that, that's a huge limitation. Imagine you looking at an interface and you can't even use that shit unless you got Pro Tools. If you use Pro Tools, it's mix and master tier. If you don't use Pro Tools, it's in vocal template, because the main reason why you even buy an interface like that is to use it with Pro Tools. So I just think that's kind of fucked up how they made a whole interface like that. They could have just made it like a really good interface that could be used in anything. But knowing Pro Tools, how they're money hungry, just off of that alone, I gotta throw it in vocal template. All right, then we have the UAD. Any UAD interface that you get, whether it's the Apollo Twin, where it's the X4, the Duo, the second gen, they all gonna be good, bro. There's a certain standard of quality to UAD that we know, and the UAD is amazing because they have a package of plugins. Even if you don't have UAD, you can still use them. Like, the LA2A, the 1176. This shit is literally classic. The 1176 SE Legacy is great. I seen Tizio use that a lot. It's just the perfect vanilla ice cream type of 1176. The LA2As, everything is great. The Fairchild, the Pultex. If you do like podcasting, it's a great interface for that. So it's very versatile. And the only complaint was the converters. That's why they put out the second gen, but got me fucked up if you got to spend all that money just for better converters. Come on, man. If you already got the Apollo, that the converters only make a 5% difference for people who are good at making music, who are like almost like professional. They have a lot of knowledge, they have a lot of experience, so they just want to get a luxury item like better converters. But it does not make a difference for people who are starting out or who don't really know how to mix like that. All right. Prism, the Prism got to go to the tippity top. There's a lot of people who only get this interface just because they feel like, damn, I got an expensive ass vocal chain, but maybe the converters, maybe the quality of my interface is lacking. Let me get a Prism. A Prism is fire. I might just get me a Prism. I'm thinking about it. I don't know, but a Prism is pretty good. The converters are on point. The preamp is on point. The everything is on point. The A to DA, everything is on point. It's great. It lasts. It holds its value, unlike a lot of items. So that's why Prism's got to go to the top at the mix and master tier. Just imagine the Prism to be like you making an investment in something like a stock or a gold, and it's holding its value. You feel me? You kind of always want to buy the expensive shit that can hold value, because never know, one day you might want to trade it in, or get something different. So that's where it's coming down to That's where it's coming down to like that, okay? For the prism. After that, we have the Neumann. I'm not gonna cap the Neumann. Got to go to the top, bro. Come on, the Neumann is so good. If you, especially if you got Neumann speakers and you do the whole monitor alignment with the Neumann and stuff, Neumann is great because it has mastering grade converters, and I know it has really good preamp. If you got a U87, a TLM 103, if you got any other Neumann product and you put it with this, it's gonna be like crack cocaine. It's just gonna sound that good and that prestigious. You got some options for Ethernet connection. You got a lot of inputs and outputs, unlike some of the other interfaces here. But yeah, that's where you will find yourself using something like this, and that's really good. I'm gonna have to ding the links. I know the links got the Hilo Aurora converters. The only thing that's gonna set it back is because it's a brand new product. I've never used it before, and honestly, at that point, I feel like for the limited amount of IO, you might as well just save up and just actually get like a Lynx Aurora. You feel me? Just get the full thing. Maybe I'm sure the Mesa probably sounds good, but also the way it kind of looks too, it kind of looks like a Windows XP 1999. It kind of looks old and dated. Like, come on, they could have made the interface look way cleaner in 2025 than what that little low blue thing is right there. It looks like a floppy disk is gonna spit out of the thing. All right, vocal template. We're throwing that Neve interface. I think that you only buy this Neve interface for the preamps, but at that point, just buy a goddamn Neve preamp, or just use an Apollo that can give you a Neve preamp, that can give you API preamp, that can give you all these other different preamps, and that is just very gimmicky. Even the Heritage Audio interface with the Neve 1073s, that shit is very gimmicky, and I don't think you guys will get most value out of that. You probably need a really fire vocal template to compensate for the fact that you only getting just the preamp. That's the main aspect of a interface like that. All right, Apogee Symphony. Is this a symphony? That's the duet because it's the two ins and outs. That for the expandability, yeah, that gotta go mix and master tier. That interface is so clean and it comes with a nice package of plugins. I love using the Apogee Pultec and also the Apogee. I remember I C-worded this plugin a while back, but the Apogee limiter, the clipper. Oh, that's one of the best limiter clippers I ever heard in my life. And it's modeling those converters, and they have a really clean sound, really good, clean but flavorful at the same time. So that's what we're throwing in at the mix and master tier. What's this last one? Oh yeah, SSL. SSL got to go to rough mix. If you're making rap music, I don't see why you would need all those preamps. But if you're somebody who's mixing drums, oh, that SSL is probably the best bang for the buck on this whole list because the SSL preamps are so fire. They're so good. That VCA circuit. And I know it comes with the SSL plugins too, I believe. And yeah, you could have a lot and take a lot of advantage. The only problem with the SSL preamp is they're all the same flavor, which is the SSL chocolate ice cream flavor. So it's only one specific flavor. And a lot of times when people want to go with a whole 8 rack of preamps, they go with API. They go with API because that's the API sound is just that's the right sound for drums. It's a familiar sound. It's very modern and it sounds good overdriven. I'm not sure how these SSL preamps sound like when you drive them really hard, but if I was somebody who's mixing drum kits and stuff like that, I'd probably have one set of clean pre's and one set of dirty preamps. And if I had to get my dirty preamp, it would be API 512C. So maybe that kind of might make the SSL preamps a little bit redundant. But the SSL is really good, especially if you have like the regular desktop interface. The SSL is only $800. So yeah, we're going to throw it in rough mix. And the SSL plugins are great. The Fusion plugins, the channel strips, the J, the K, the G, the E, the X Saturator, the Infinity EQ, all the great plugins that come with the SSL are really good. So what do you guys think about this list? Do you have any experience with any of the preamps on this list? Let me know down below. Do you hate how expensive some of these preamps are? Do you think they're worth it or not? Let me know down below. Just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. I appreciate y'all now. Peace.